as HR personnel, we are just going through in-house training, and that is for just our internal purpose, and it is just information which I got from years. It is just something which I just want to share with you. So in that way, when going through employment application, you are aware of Department of Labor requirements and internal policies and stuff like that. So I just gonna go through detailed description, or so in that way you are aware why employment application and everything is important, and the background and why the forms are required and all that. I understand that nowadays, everything is online. Everything is online. People, they fill the application online, they submit their resumes online, But when it's come to our industry for protection and security and all that, hey, we have to be careful when selecting the candidates. We have to be really, really careful, because they are carrying a firearm. They are out there protecting for the assets of the clientele. They are out in schools, they are out in government facilities, they are out in shopping centers, warehouses, to take care of clients' assets. And we have to make sure that we screen and select the best personnel. And when they fill the employment application, just make sure that the social security cards, all the documents, we have them in file. The state police background check, just submit that. I know a lot of people, in the previous meeting, you guys mentioned why we don't have a third party to do the screening. Hey, I totally disagree. For example, in this area, you are the guys who are out there to screen people, to hire people, to go with their payrolls and everything. You once you are there and you are dealing with everything, you are aware of the employee. You are aware of his behaviors. You are aware of everything. And that's why I would not go with the third party, because I rather call myself the people he knows from past few years and all that. The places he have worked from past few years. Because, first of all, what happened is that when you send or hire a third party to do the background check, you are missing lots of information. For example, the previous places of work where the candidate who applied, he have worked. What if he put over there that he worked ABC company from this period to this period, and technically he just worked there 6 months or 5 months or 4 months, and he jumped to another company. He worked there 3, 4 months, 5 months. That shows he's not reliable. And basically, once you submit all that information to the third party, yes, they're going to call them, they're going to check everything, but you're missing a lot of important information. And plus, other thing is, once you go through the application, first of all, when they fill the application, even though they fill it online, if it is me, I will just send them an email or call them, can you please come during business hours and fill the application? Hey, if they're interested, they're going to come and refill. The reason for that is, once they've submitted online, beautiful resumes, and you look at that and you're like, wow, cool, I'm going to hire this person. We don't know if that resume, is right or not, if the information he provided over there is correct or not. even if he made that resume or not. Do he even know how to make a resume? We don't know. And when it comes to the protection, you are out there taking care of the businesses. You are out there protecting and serving. You need to know everything about that person. Is he capable to handle things? Can he really take care of the business? Is he a right candidate? So once he comes to the office, and when you give him a random question, can you please write how to do this? While you're at, for example, an experienced candidate, he comes, oh, I have these many years of experience. Good. But from there you can find out if he really knows things or not. So I'm going to suggest, let them come again to the office to fill the handwritten application. Let him fill the handwritten application. Plus the other thing is, now that application you can match with his resume. Is it the same information? You are re-evaluating the candidate. And again, like I mentioned earlier, we are in a different type of business where it is very important to evaluate the employee. He's out there alone taking care of the businesses, taking care of the clientele, taking care of the customer. And we have to make sure he knows what to do. If he has the experience, he has the knowledge what to do. And that's why, if you see somebody who fill any application and they have the military or law enforcement experience, I would try to negotiate the rate with that person and I'm gonna try to hire them on heartbeat. Yeah, still I will do all the background investigation. Still I will check his background, his references, the previous place of employment. But even if it is retired, for example, a retired law enforcement, or active or former military law enforcement, I would hire them on heartbeat. You know why? He got the experience. They were in same type of work. They know what to do. They are aware of the laws. They can do a better job than anybody else. The newcomers who have no experience, for example, even if we take a college person who is going to college and he's in administration of justice, he's taking his degree in administration of justice and he wants to be a police officer or FBI or whatever in future, and he's taking that degree, yes, sure, we hire them, but we're still going through the training. He's learning. Yes, he has the knowledge from college, but we are still going he's still going with the field training. He's learning on daily basis. And the reason I am saying I would pay more and I would try to negotiate the rates with them and hire them, because they already have the knowledge. They already have the experience. And they can do a better job. They can be dependable. And since we don't hire people from outside as managers or supervisors, yeah, once they're doing great, hey, they can be part of management team. They can excel within the company. It is not, I'm not saying that, let others go away and only military and law enforcement. No, I'm not saying that. But if it's me, I would be really interested in those people. I'm going to give them the first priority than other candidates. There are people who claim they have these many years of experience, and believe me, they don't even know how to bar a person for trespassing. I have these many years. I've been working with this company. And you have even probably seen lots of people, they have lots of experience, but when it comes to detailed report writing, they've been used to, with other companies, patrol the property, nothing to report. Patrol the property, nothing to report. Nah. We want detailed description. What exactly? So in that way, the client, he knows what exactly happened, like if he was there. So that's what I'm talking about. Military law enforcement, they've been writing reports and all these things, and they have been dealing with the situations. They know what to do. Noise complaints, alarm response, they already know. They have the knowledge. They know how to go to magistrate. They know how to obtain a warrant. So there are lots of things which they already know. Lots of things they already know. So if it is me, I'm gonna give them the first priority. I'm gonna give them the first priority. And plus, any candidate, make sure the telephone numbers they provide, hey, go through the application, read it. If lots of times I have noticed from my experience that many people, they get the application, the applicant is gone. Now they can't even read the telephone number. Oh, and while they're trying to call, that number don't even exist. Hey, while the candidate is here, go through the application. Go through the application, read everything. Wherever you feel that you are not getting it or it is hard to read, ask the candidate and rewrite it. Rewrite it. So when you are doing the background screening, it is easier. It is easier. And then you have the form. You should ask all those questions to whoever you're calling. I mean, some of the employers, they require that you send the authorization of release of record. That is one of the key thing. That is one of the key thing. Make sure the candidate, he did sign that. We cannot conduct his background without that form. It is important. It is important. And you know, sometimes I'm surprised that people, they fill online applications, and when there is a question where it says, oh, the hours you are available for an interview, which hours you are available? Oh man, they are putting like night hours. You know, it tells you that it ain't gonna work. I mean, everybody knows that interviews, they will be done during business hours. If they are not available during several hours in the day, it means he will not be the right candidate, or he probably already have another job where he's busy, or he's not interested, or he's just trying it. So, you know, those are the things where you evaluate yourself. Hey, do I need him or not? Or some people, they already have their jobs and they look, oh, this company is paying more. Oh, let me fill the application. And then available for an interview. Oh no, I have this. No, I'm not available in 7 days. Hey, if you are not available 7 days during business hours, come on. It means it is just no. So, you know, that's why the employment applications, they are important. I mean, I'm gonna suggest you guys to have them come in the office, redo the application, and then go with their resumes, go with their online thing, and just see what they put while they were in person. And then, while you contact them to come to the office, make sure to also notify them, hey, can you please bring this, all your documents. Why? Because you have to keep the Department of Labor requirements in mind. Department of Labor requirements, you have to keep them in mind. They are important, and you must create an employment file where all their records are kept. I mean, for example, overtime. I mean, why pay overtime? Have the people working certain hours. Let the people work certain hours. Why pay them overtime? Why pay them overtime? Hey, you can have more people. You can have more people working for you. And that way, you have more manpower. Easier to take care of things. So just always use your best judgment. and go through the policies, procedures. So in that way, you are aware of everything. You yourself are aware of everything. Lots of time what happened, HR department, new hires, they come, oh, I got the job, they're just doing certain things, ignore policies, procedures. No, you yourself must know each and everything. I mean, Department of Labor requirements, you must be fully aware. Their file must be complete at all times. I mean, the compensation, how much you're paying the person, their rate, it must be in the file. The hours he's working, which site, where he's working, how many hours. And I'm going to suggest 32 hours a week. Simple. In that way, you have more people. There are people looking for jobs. Hey, why just have one person? Because lots of time, hey, he's good, let me give him more hours, let him make overtime. No. There are people who are looking for jobs. Why not create more jobs? Why not create more jobs? Keep the people up to 32 hours. In that way, there is another person who can fit in the hours. I mean, just help create the jobs. So 32 to 40 hours full time, but I'm going to suggest 32. So in that way, there is always a room you can have a third person. So just have that hours you hired that person for, how many hours he's going to work, and in that way, the rate you hired him for, and so in that way, even when the management or state or anybody they comes and they want to see how many hours he work in a week, well, we have that thing. Hey, these many hours. And these are key things. Lots of people, they don't pay attention. They just fail. No. Everything is important. I mean, you are not in, here or say businesses. No, you are taking care of a company where you are protecting the assets. And you don't want to ignore things where you are giving the bad reputation to the company. Where we get bad reputation. No. Provide the right candidates. So, the customer, they're like, yeah, that is the company to go with. They are the people. They know what they're doing. And that's why I am saying, prefer military or law enforcement, because the majority of them, they know what to do. I mean, even when they're dealing with the police, they know what to do. Even when dealing with the fire departments, they know what to do. Paramedics, they know what to do. Magistrate, once they're going to obtain bond notices, they know what to do. Noise complaints, they know what to do. Responding to alarm calls, they know what to do. Yes, they still have to go with in-house training to refresh their memories, but majority of the things they already know. And they can do a better job. And I know a lot of you, you're going to be like, oh, well, what if some customer, they're paying this amount of money and you are paying high paid workers who are military or law enforcement on those sites? Hey, no. You set up a rate, you tell the customer that's what it is, that's what we charge, and once you are charging that rate, no, provide them the best. Provide them the best. And that's what it is. That's what it is. It don't take a rocket science. And that is the reason a lot of new companies, they came into businesses. Because, do you know right now there are more than 48,000 companies? Probably more than 50 right now. Because that was the last agent training where I went and they mentioned it is like 48,000 companies. Right now I believe there are probably more than 50. I mean, new people with no experience. They've been out there. I mean, they have no knowledge. They probably don't even know about W4 or I-9 forms or anything. They've been working as security officers and later on they just went and opened their own businesses. And, I know there was one site where one of our I mean, we've been doing that for past 17 years or so. One day the manager, she called, she was like, hey, Major Saleem, I want to talk to you. I was like, okay. I went over there and she was like, hey, you charging us a lot. We got this proposal with this rate. And I know she's a manager. I was like, okay, sure. Let's have a seat and talk. I was like, you are a manager. I mean, you're probably dealing with HR and all those things. I was like, tell me one thing. If they submitted you a proposal with $12 or $13 or $14 an hour, how much you think they're going to pay the worker? Okay, after paying that worker, the requirement is insurance in millions. Workman comp, general liability, bonds and all that. I was like, okay, calculate that, divide it. Now you tell me, once you add all these things, and then once there is a payroll, there is a percentage with the employee paid, then there is a percentage with the company paid. Now add that. Come, where it goes. I mean, it is going more than what he's putting the proposal for. I mean, lots of people, they don't even know what they're doing. And those are the people who are into the business, and they have given bad reputation. They have given bad reputation because they had no experience. They've been working as security officers. They had no idea about management. They had no idea about HR department. They had no idea about screening. They had no idea about background check. And what happens? They are out there, clients, they decided to go with them because the rate were decent. They were like, wow, nice rate. Hey, you get what you pay for. And they were not the right people. And plus other thing, a lot of clients, they don't even know that if this is a new company or old company. You know, it is only us, because we are in that field. Once we see the license number, we know how old is the company. For example, 11-4321, hey, we know how old is that company. That is probably late 80s or 90s. Customer, they don't know. You know, they just see, okay, they have the business license, all that, the rate is good, and they just decide to go with them, and later on, after a year or so, hey, can you please come back and take care? Or sooner or later, they find out, we signed the contract with those people, that was not worth it. Because, like I mentioned, lots of security officers who even work with other companies, what happens? Once they come here, they are writing our reports, they don't know nothing. Plus, they've been doing handwritten reports with other companies. We do electronic reporting. They have no idea. And we don't do patrol the property, nothing to report, because they were doing handwritten reports. They are dropped. The office management, they are unaware of anything. And the client, they are looking, hey, okay, he just did his job. Hey, tell me one thing. If there is no problems to report, why the customer even need you guys? There is always a problem. Believe me, there is always a problem. Even when my officers, they're out there, oh sir, no, there was nothing. Hey, excuse me. There is always something. How come you're telling me there is nothing? And that's why I always even tell my field managers, hey, walk with them. Don't go and inspect them just standing. No, walk with them. Walk around. And then go through their reports. And then look yourself. What was the problem in the property? And then talk to them once you find a problem. Hey, I see this. For example, there is a burner light or something like that. Or graffiti. Hey, how come there is a graffiti here? I don't see that in your report. You know, so that's why the screening is very, very important. And that's why I suggest to have military or law enforcement just based on their experience. And I mean, I'm not saying others are not welcome. Hey, do your evaluations, do the background check, but make sure even when it says your previous employers, the rate, check with them if he was really getting that rate or not. And the reason for that is to make sure if he's trustworthy or not, and how long he have worked there. If he have worked there 5 months, 6 months, and jump to another job, They're going to do the same thing with you. And we don't want people like that where we spend our time to train them. I mean, you guys know HR, it takes $20,000 to $40,000 a year just to run HR department. We don't want that we are spending our money training the people and later on they leave. And that's why you guys have the contract. Hey, even if you leave, you cannot even work with any of the clientele for a certain period of time. Why? Because lots of money is invested. And again, I'm just going through the things which I have experienced while I was taking care of stuff. So you can have the knowledge and all that. And basically the other point is, so you know how important is the employment application. And it has been ignored. Nowadays, it has been ignored by many, many businesses. And my main point is, do not ignore it. And those people who've been suggesting to hire the third party to do the background screening, no. You are here at the office. Do the screening yourself. You got the forms, fingerprints. I mean, yeah, do it. Send it to the Department of Criminal Justice Services. Let it go to the FBI. Let them do the background check and all that. Do it yourself. State police, hey, fill the form, let the candidate sign, attach the check. Send it to the state police. Let them do the background and send you the records. And you know what? Even if the candidate is calling, relax. Even if they're yelling, hey, I applied and it is this time, blah, blah, blah. No, you're doing your background. You're doing your background. Or somebody comes, hey, it has been a while. If you don't hire me, I'm going to go with somebody else. Hey, sure, go. You can go with somebody else. The main key point is, while you are doing the background, or you, for example, did the fingerprint, send it to the DCJS, or, so they can forward it to the FBI for background, or you send it to the state police. No, you have to wait till you get it, because these are the people who are wearing the uniform. They are wearing the uniform, they are going out there to perform their tasks. And we have to make sure they are the right people. They're the right people. They know what they're doing. They're there to take care of their jobs. They're there to take care of their clientele. Like schools, they're dealing with children. We want to make sure, hey, they don't have any kind of messy background, like child molester or something like that. No. You should wait. Even if they go and apply somewhere else, let them go. Wait till all the background is taken care. So in that way, for example, you send that officer to any school or university, you know inside you, yes, he's the right person. He's clean background. He's ready to go. Plus he got in-house trainings. He knows what to do at job. Or he has the prior experience. He knows what to do at the job. You are stress-free rather than just going and some incident happen. Hey, no. That is a bad reputation. We don't need it. We don't need it. So take your time. Relax. Take your time. Send those things. And that's it. That's it. Plus the other thing is the personal references. Go with the questionnaire which we ask them. Ask those questions. Even the personal references, ask those questions. And that's why I'm saying, once you are doing it, even once you hire that applicant, you know that yes, I hired the right person. Rather than depending on the third person, third party, and you don't even know what it is all about. When you conducted the investigation, you conducted the background, you got all the records, you know, yes, this is the person I hired, he's the right candidate, and he's good to go. And that's why employment application, go through each and everything. Go through each and everything. So in that way, once you are there to do the screening, it makes your job easier. Make sure that you can read everything. Plus, other thing is the Department of Labor requirements. You know, Department of Labor requirements, they require employee file. Employee file, it must have the employment, I mean, where it is their name, social security number, their address and all that. So, create a file for that employee, which we do. Create a file, put all the documents in there, and I mean, again, the rate you hired, there is another form which says the rate this applicant is hired for. Just fill that form. It must be over there. When you do the interview, just write it over there. Do your signatures. So the rate he's hired for. I mean, then they do the in-house training the first day at work, once they are out in the field. Because we consist of guards, armed officers, investigators, personal protection specialists, bodyguards, all that. I mean, each job category is different. Like only it is the investigators, which is 50-50 basically, and other than that, everybody's mostly on hourly basis. So, you know, still doesn't matter even if they're experienced. We still do the background, still do the screening, we still take our time. And the reason I am saying that me personally, let them come to the office, fill the application again, it is a kind of screening. Plus, you know, hey, you know, once the person walks in, you know how he looks and all that. I'm not talking about discrimination and stuff. Basically, what I am saying is, at least once he walks in, you can see, well, do he fits for the job? I mean, for example, if it is a bodyguard, hey, somebody fills over there and he's skinny like me, and next thing, you know, he have to go and protect the celebrities or diplomat, ambassador or somebody like that, and he can't, no. Once he walks to the office, you know he's built up, and even if he's getting paid like $100 or $200 an hour, yeah, he's worth it. So that's what I mean. You know, once they walk in, you guys are here, at least you know, okay, he looked good. And it can also give you the idea once you are going through the application and all that, this candidate, he looks good. Send the stuff out for background and then conduct the interview till the final interview is there. And even if there are loopholes, ask those questions in the final interview. And same thing with the hours, whatever hours he worked, overtime, I already went through that. And then rest of the things, they go to the accountant. When it comes to the hours, those hours, they go to the accountant and he maintain all those records. So whenever the state or anybody, they come for the audits, the payroll, it is all there. Here's the list, here it is. That is something with the accountant. So basically, it is still our job to make sure he get the right hours. He got the hours because he's gonna create the payroll check according to that. And now, I can also go with the, for example, I-9 form. You know, that is important. And we must fill that out. That is one of the key things. I-9 form. Yes, there might be a person who was on work permit. He's been working with somebody else. And he's probably not even authorized to work in the US. So I-9 form, we fill that out. Make sure you got, either he says he's a US citizen, get a copy, social security card copy. Keep all those records to verify that yes, and put a copy in his file. It's already safe. That's why I suggest handwritten, because that goes in the cabinet, in the filing system. So anybody, they want to come and verify, yes sir, here it is. Or yes ma'am, here it is. No worries, nothing. I-9 form, that is important. You have to fill that out to make sure he's eligible to work in the US. He's a citizen. He's a green card holder. He's a work permit holder. And The same thing, there's another form which is called W-4 form, that is for the IRS. The W-4 form, that is important. They have to fill that out, because that is the form which goes to the accountant. Now from there, he's going to be deducting the taxes. So based on the W-4 form, which is required by the IRS, that is the form where the taxes, accountant, he's going to be taking the taxes out of the payroll based on that form. So that is important form. And they must fill that one out. I-9 form, you must be filling that, because you are there to verify that information. But W-4 form, yeah, the employee should be filling it out. The applicant, he must fill that form out. And I-9 form, you must fill that out, because you have to verify that information. And again, even the employee fill the forms out. Make sure you double check. Can you read it? All that? I mean, if you cannot read it, I guarantee you the accountant, he will be unable to figure out the things. So make sure you read it, everything is clear, their address is clear. Next thing, he makes the check. Oh, I never received my check, or even if it is, direct deposit, or for example, anything that we issue a check for reimbursement or something. Oh, I never got my check. Well, because we were unable to read what he put on that form. So make sure, again, that is something where we can verify the addresses from employment applications and all that. But again, I'm just giving an example that all the information should be there. You should be careful to make sure you can read all that information, you can understand all that, and it is easier. It makes your job easier. It is better to pay attention right from the beginning rather than going through tough times afterwards. No, do it right from the start, so you have no worries, no problems afterwards. And plus, once you hire the employee, the first day he is at work. The first day he is at work, because I know that he's going to be coming to the office, filling the forms out, this, that. The first day he's at work, even though there is a time frame of 20 days, I believe, but the first day he works, I'm going to suggest you guys to report to the state. The newcomers, you must report it to the state that he's been hired.